Hey everyone, Lex DeVille here, and today I'm here with my lovely assistant, Lacey, and we are going to demonstrate the strange creation that I have come up with called the Inverted North-South Kimura. We're going to start by demonstrating how to get the grip and what the grip looks like. It's a little bit different from the traditional Kimura grip, even though it is actually the same grip in the end. Alright, so if we were doing a traditional Kimura grip, we would have the wrist and we would swim over the arm for this grip right here. On this side it would look like this. I have the wrist and I swim over the shoulder. I connect my hands with this hand on top of my wrist, my first hand on top of their wrist. And this bend right here creates the Kimura that we then rotate for the finish. If I were to do a spinning back take with the Kimura grip, it would look a little bit like this. I would be down here in side control, and as I spin around, my forearm moves from being over the shoulder down to over their forearm. So as I spin, it gets to about right here. And now my wrist is still locked in place over their wrist, and my other wrist is locked in place over my wrist, but my actual arm, my forearm, is over their forearm. This is the grip that we're looking for in the inverted position. And so as I spin, the more I spin, the more I get into this, I stop being over the shoulder and I start being attached to their forearm. So for the inverted north-south Kimura, the first thing we have to do is find that grip. So when I'm down here in this inverted position, let's say I'm here, I'm upside down. So it looks strange going for a Kimura from here because what I'm looking at is the bottom of the wrist. But due to the rotation from the spinning back take, when we get into that position, we're actually attached to the bottom of the wrist with our grip. So normal Kimura, we start out with a grip on the top of the wrist and we go over the shoulder. With this version, we're starting out by finding the bottom of the wrist. So if we can find the bottom of their wrist and grab it with the same arm that we would grab our normal Kimura with, that's step one. From here, we're not coming over this way. We have to swim under. So if I put my two hands flat like this along the bottom of the arm, that is how we would catch this grip. It would be the cross grip here on the wrist, and my other hand would go up and over as I rotate the arm inward back toward their stomach. So it's coming in like this. And by doing that, I go over their forearm and I attach to my own wrist. We are not trying to finish with this Kimura grip. This is not a finishing move right now. We're using it to get to better positions. Once I have this grip, I'm going to shove it up into their stomach, and that's what's going to allow me to move into a bunch of other positions. So I just wanted to show that how you're getting the grip, what that grip looks like first. Now I want to show the main setup for this, which comes from a bottom north-south position. So Lacey's going to come down into a north-south position on me, and from this position I'm probably going to be here. I may have to work to get inside frames. So if I have to do that, I'm going to start to turn a bit and pull my elbow inside so that I can attach up here with my elbow on her bicep. And then I'm going to turn the other direction and get the other one inside. And now both of my hands are in the same spot on either side. I can use these frames to start to create some space. As I create that space, I'm going to bring my knees in. And as my knees come in, they create new frames. I switch my hands to being C grips on the armpits on either side. This allows me to push them up even further so that I can replace my hands with my feet. Once my feet are in the armpit, now I have access to either hand, whichever side I want. So if I wanted this side, I'm just going to grab a same side grip at first on the bottom of the wrist. To get the hand back here, the easiest way to do it is to flare the knee out. So I'm going to flare this knee out and pass the hand behind the knee. Now I'm going to come with my cross hand and I'm going to grab the wrist. because we need that cross grip for this Kimura. Once I have the cross grip, I can release this foot from the armpit. I'm gonna keep my other foot as I swim, again, under the wrist and around, pushing it into my partner's stomach as this leg comes free. It kind of free floats out here. With this leg floating, I can now extend. I've got a locked in Kimura grip. It's just over the forearm. It's not over the shoulder. I can extend my other leg out, which is going to tilt them and off balance them. And that's going to allow me to start to rotate around into this hip step Kimura position. Once I get in this position where I have one foot in their armpit still and one foot on their hip, I'm starting to get into a finishing position from here. As I rotated around, my arm came more over her shoulder and it locked into a more traditional Kimura grip. So from here, I could try to free the Kimura and I could try to rotate that and finish. I could also take my leg through to the other side and try to finish an armbar right here. Also, since I have this foot up here, if I can free my bottom foot, I could catch a Tariqa Plata here. Another option, I'm gonna have you turn a little bit more, rotate toward me. If you don't like any of those options, you catch this hip step position, your other foot is in their armpit. You can just shoot it through behind their armpit, and I'll show this from another angle here in a moment. But you can shoot that leg straight out behind their armpit, bring this one up and down over the head, locking in the triangle on the other side. So now I have a fully locked in triangle and I have a Kimura grip. I can finish again with the Kimura, or I can try to finish the triangle here, or I can roll through to several other attacks, which I'll show you from the other side now. So let's turn around. Okay, so we've got frames, feet, and armpits. I'm gonna start on the other side this time. I flare my knee out. I've caught with the same side grip and passed it behind the knee to where I'm catching it with my palm up. Now this hand also goes palm up and swims underneath, not over, but underneath, as we shove the wrist into their stomach, catching our own hand and pulling that foot free on that same side to float freely out here. I rotate to my right hip, the hip that the foot is still in the armpit, I rotate to that hip as I extend them. It tilts in this direction. Now from here I can go hip step and have all of those hip step attacks, or I can just shoot this leg through deep. As this comes from the hip, walking down over their head, top leg locks down over the bottom leg, creating a triangle right here. I can now finish, let's get that this way just a little bit. I can finish with my Kimura on this side. If I have it really tight, I can try to finish with this triangle right here. Most likely thing, if I free the Kimura, or if I hop this foot in, is that they're going to roll. So as I put Kimura pressure and I create this bend with my legs, they'll roll through. And I end up with this still locked in triangle right here. So now I can release the Kimura grip on this side. I can hold it with one hand while I reach over and grab the tricep here, improving my triangle grip here. There's a finish right there. If I rolled through and I was on this side with the triangle grip and I reached over, I would have this. So I would start out with my Kimura grip here. I would hold this, I would catch this, and I would finish my triangle. If that's not working, I can also come up, rotating over, and now I have a locked in Kimura grip here. Alternatively, if I start to come up and I feel them squirming around, as I come up, I can come up to this knee, throw my leg over, and again, I have the Tariqa Plata right here for that finish. And that is the inverted Kimura from the north-south position. You can catch this Kimura from by building those frames as I just showed, or come back to like just to your knees. If you are an inversion player, you might be somewhere here just in like an open guard and you're just getting grips. And as you get these grips, you might start to rotate under. So when I'm not inverted, it's a same side grip. When I'm inverted, it's a cross grip. But I could just get this from here, rotate underneath and catch this grip along the way. And now I'm starting to have this grip that I can use to maneuver my partner. I could maybe catch an arm bar. I could spin around and take the back. There's a lot that we can do with this grip, but it starts by catching it and knowing what you're looking for. And what you're looking for is, if you're inverted, you're looking for the bottom of the wrist. I can put both hands flat on the bottom of the wrist and then catching it, shoving it into their stomach, swimming over so that I can get the grip. Once I have it, I can rotate back out. And now I'm on their back, or I can go to hip step or triangles or any of those other options.